Hello, hello. All right, let's get started. Actually, let me get my Okay, as I was saying, I got some watermelon here that I'll be nibbling throughout the stream. Alright, so let's see. First of all, there were some cards that get a summon and banish, like this. And they were not checking that you can banish. Here in the activation check, they need to check that you are able to banish the summon monsters. Or rather, the monsters that are being summoned. The reason being, if Imperial Iron Wall is up, Imperial or something similar where banishing is not allowed, you should not be able to use the effect. So I'll go through these for starters and update them accordingly. Okay, so if we were to update just the activation check, when your opponent would summon a monster, okay. And I guess just checking if there's at least one card in the summoned group that can be banished is probably enough. I want to try make sure the change actually works properly. This part. Okay, so let's see if the opponent's gonna try and use this. So here's where we normally negate. Okay. And if I chain Imperial Wall, it should negate the summon, but not banish. Okay. So this goes through, this fails, okay. And if Imperial Ward is already face up, then I shouldn't be able to use the effect. Okay. That's probably okay then. Alright, so now that we've confirmed that it works, we're gonna basically copy this on the other cards as well, but now I want to actually update and polish the whole script. Maybe we'll find something else that's wrong as well along the way. Okay. Let's see. Could not be an option. Must be set up with a source mode. That's probably Hobbit Cannon. Okay. Okay. And then the first effect is the negation. Now it's split into 3 effects because it's 1 effect each for different types of summons. But essentially, it's the same effect. So there's one for normal summons, flip summons, special summons. Dun, dun. Okay, disable summon category. Wake Master Zone, Carlos per turn. This will be 2. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, condition needs to be the opponent. That's doing summon. Current chain 0, so it's outside of a chain. And then target we check for the banishing. Mission info is okay. What's this? For some reason it's checking that Habakan itself is still face up on the field, but I don't think that makes much sense. Report summon. It doesn't say anywhere that it needs to be face up still or something. I don't think that's true. So we remove this. And then we have special summon, banish that monster, the negated one, and those special summon monsters your opponent controls. The summon able to remove on your opponent's side. Something like this probably okay. Okay. And then the float effect. Once the field is destroyed, target on top of the column, specific measurement conditions. Some single target event destroyed. Just has to be on the field. What? This checks it's in your possession, not that it was on the field, so that's also wrong. Previous location. Okay, and then let's see, we have master zones is something to target. In our graveyard, it's Albert Cam, ignoring summon conditions, that's what this true does. For some reason it's excluding itself from the targets check, but it's a different card, so that was kind of pointless. Okay. Should be okay. We'll test it real quick to make sure. The question is, how do we make Albert Cannon easily? Oh, it has generic matches, okay. Generic, but well, still need to be synchros. But we could just pendulum summon a bunch of stuff and do it that way, I guess. Power Gladiator, Water Magician, Shade Tuner. So Recipro, sure. Okay. Okay, so then we need some tuners. This is the tuner, special from the graveyard. But we're gonna pendulum some of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we need these two. He can be a non-tuner, so that works. So we need 2 level 5 synchros, 1 level 2. This makes a token, right? Okay, so another one of these for Recipro. And that should be it. So just the scales now. King Gate. Okay. Let's see. So the ban will summon, negate, and then we banish all the special summons. So we summon this special summoned. Let's normal summon this. So this one should not be banished. And then we pendulum summon. Oh, you can summon if you could. Never mind, sorry. Shit. This, okay, hold on, this revives. But you can't negate, okay, well... Okay, we can do with Gariba, I suppose. Let's crash. Oops, I meant to... I meant to click normal summon there, oops. I guess I'm gonna flip summon, negate the summon, and then this should be banished, this should not be banished. Okay. And then destroyed, I need Dark Hole for that. Oops. Let's count the filter destroyed. Okay, ignoring summon conditions, nice. Okay, so that one's fine. Let's put it here. Okay, so now we know for starters that this part works, so we can just copy it as is. Boom. So that's done. And then for the actual script updates, although first I want to note we fixed some other stuff on this guy. Shouldn't need to. Blessing. It's got an effect that targets a monster you control. Discard and gate activation. Gate quick, damage sap. It's an opponent's effect, has the targeting property. And there are target cards. And amongst them, there is at least one that's in your master zone. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Yo, what's going on here? I am fixing some bugs. More specifically, these cards are have an effect that negates summon and then banish, and they were not checking that the play can actually banish before using the effect. So if Lancea or Iron Wall is up, you shouldn't be able to use the effect, but currently their script allows them to. Fixing those for starters. Okay, negate activation. Yeah, we don't need to do this part. Okay, so E1 should be fine. And E2 is the summon negation. Your opponent spell summon a monster. You can discard the hand cost. It's probably one of the few, I think it's one of the few cards that has a cost to return itself to the hand. Maybe it's the only one. These ones also do it, but they don't return themselves. Oh, they return this card from the field. Discard. So yeah, well, he salvage as well, so of course he does. Let's return something else. Let's return something else. I mean, it could return itself, but it's not literally only itself. One other card. One any monster, but could be itself. One other one. And it's a single, so I shouldn't be able to return itself. Return continues by okay. Yeah, it's not a very common cost. Self to hand. Anyway. So negate the summon, special summon if you to banish. Okay, activation check. And then it needs to be an opponent special summon, so it is the opponent. Oops. No chain. Okay, it's probably fine. Summon, remove, negate. Okay, let's try that real quick. What one numbers? 942, made a typo somewhere. Oh yeah. Should be 1 minus. Okay. And the target thing. Okay. So that's good. Let me grab a little bit of my watermelon. That's nice. Okay. Right, so this is a pretty modern car, so I probably don't have to do any updates other than this. It's very recent, so yeah. Let's put here. Okay, it's pretty small. When a Lio Dark Master will be summoned, pay 2000, negate, and use to banish. So we got summon, flip special, disable, banish, description. Needs to be light or dark. But we move. Oh, it checks it here actually. Okay, so it's probably okay then. Yeah, that should be fine then. Okay, never mind. We don't need to do this one. This one, however, is not checking it, so... Okay. Now this one also is kind of modern as a script, but there might be some... It's not super recent, it's like a couple years old maybe, the card. It was either in the previous Terminal World or the one before that, so it was like a year or two probably. So I'm gonna go through it real quick, there might be something. I'll use it to okay. Opponent. Tribute to my master, which is the classic Infinite Cost. Tribute anything. Negate banish. Okay. Special summon only. Aye. Because banishment, create a banishment on the field. What's in your graveyard? Nice one from the field. Select. Okay. This link summon cards in someone's control is destroyed. Special summon offended. Destroyed. Link summon by the opponent, it was in the monster zone. master, specimen some conditions from your deck. Okay, seems okay. I'll try it out real quick, make sure I didn't make any typos. I also need Polish Barrel. Did I accidentally click this? I think I did, yeah. Okay, so if something's banished, I banish. Separately, I need to. Let's say I banish this. Okay. Banish from all the fields. Okay. Now I need another monster, so I don't tribute this one. Or the negation. Okay. And then if it's destroyed by the opponent, so dark hole next turn. Okay. From your deck. Okay. Alrighty, so we are done with these. Actually, I'll do it like this. Okay, so next up there was these two. I want to check something about them. There was some report about this, about the damage, but no damage part. The opponent's next end phase, the master and bishop of battle, taking the battle damage from battle. The reset here is 0. So maybe this doesn't reset. Banish from the graveyard. But the flag should reset, so it's probably okay. Technically though, this probably doesn't reset. But the only way to put the flag on it is by targeting something with the effect. Wait, why is this 2? Oh yeah, it has to be 2, right? Because it's until your opponents and you do it in your turn, so it needs to be 2, yeah. Nice. Just trying to think if there's a potential scenario where it wouldn't work correctly. I don't think so. Although, okay, there could be some weird stuff. Okay, what if I apply this to a monster, and then my opponent takes control of it, and uses their own Echo Defender on it, and then it comes back to me, it would still have the flag, and this wouldn't have reset yet, so I guess it's, yeah, okay. If the opponent puts the flag on it while this effect is active because it hasn't reset, because the reset was wrong, and I get control of the monster, this effect will still apply on me. Okay, so that's, I mean, it's unrealistic, but it is a scenario. Another thing is, you probably shouldn't be able to target something that's already targeted by this. So if you have 2 of these in the graveyard, you can't target the same monster twice. Usually that's how those work. These kind of effects work. So we'll do that. I'm back, sorry about that. OBS was throwing a fit. But the good news are that I finished this guy, and I also finished my watermelon. While I wait for OBS to come back. Okay, so there was something about this. It has a weird effect. The zombies pass on by card effects. So it doesn't work if it's pendulum summon, it doesn't work if it's a summoning condition procedure, but it does work if it's an effect, like a Cyber Dragon effect. Taiwan set card in the spell trap zone. Okay, that's simple. Yeah, I'm not sure if this check actually works. That's what I want to test. So, okay. Well, we'll try Master Bone. We'll try a non-activate effect. If you control a fire, you get percent from your hand. So this is an effect, it's not a summoning condition, because this guy is not a special summon monster. Just need a fire monster. Okay, Master Born, push back to one. And then we'll try Pendulum Summons. Which should not work. And then we also need something that's like a summoning condition. Like one of these guys, but something that's not too difficult to summon. Two more zombies. That's probably the easier one. What's this? You need vampire load. Actually, it's easier. You're just gonna open up someone. Vampire load. Okay. First burial. Reborn. Okay. We also need actually something to set the target with the effect itself. So. Okay. So first let's put the pendulum skills down. This is the one that we're gonna target with the effect. Okay, so if we pendulum summon vampire load, it should not trigger. Okay. If we master bomb this guy, it should trigger. Okay. I guess we didn't need this one. If we spell summon this guy, it should. And it doesn't, that's the problem. Because this is... It's a summoning effect, like a Cyber Dragon, but it's not a condition, so it should trigger in this case. And for this it should not trigger, which probably is the same. Okay. So, we need to fix it. But luckily, Vampire Grace, which has the ruling, I'm pretty sure she works correctly, so we could just copy what she does. Also, you should check if it's face up. The zombie needs to be some face up, I think. Yeah. Although she doesn't check that either, right? Yeah, she doesn't check it. Actually, you should also check the face-up position thing. We'll fix it afterwards. So this check is the effect in question is not a summoning procedure effect, or if it is, the card needs to not have revival limit. Revival limit means it's a special summon monster. So if it does have revival limit, then it's like Vampire Genesis, but if it doesn't have a revival limit, it's cool. What else does she checks? There is RC exists. She also needs to check that it's a zombie, so that makes sense. I think just checking that RE exists makes sense. It should be enough. Okay, then that's incorrect. How is this incorrect? Ah, wait, RC doesn't exist. Should be Eric Handler. Although, shouldn't this error out maybe? Okay, something's amiss here. Parentheses are fine. So in that sense, Grace is also probably wrong then. Though it would have to be a zombie pendulum to cause it. Okay, so how do we check this then? Needs to be some bind effect. Could be an activated one. Maybe we need this. Because I seem to recall this being used for stuff like the insect queen. Hello, hello. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, makes sense. Again, it doesn't trigger here though. So we're back to the initial problem. So when we hold on, maybe we need no. But Wolf, I'm 90% sure Wolf uses type actions. What's percent by perfect? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same as the queen. metamorphosed. Yeah, some bug effect. So including this check does eliminate the problem with pendulum summoning, but we also then need to make it work with something like Goka. So this needs to be here, otherwise pendulum summon works, and it shouldn't work. But does including this... Does including that make Goka not work? Sorry about that. I'm back, name. I don't know if you're still listening, but so yeah, the problem is this effect, for example, right? It's this guy too. This card has two, but Grace is the one with the ruling. When a 5-card zombie is passed summoned to your field by the effect of zombie monster, blah blah, do something, right? And the rules wise, they draw a line between something like Vampire Genesis, which cannot be normal summoned and has the summoning condition, and something like Goka, which can be normal summoned, it's not a special monster, and it has a Cyber Dragon like non-activated effect that spell summons itself. This they consider a monster, an actual effect, a zombie monster effect, so it fulfills the condition. This one. But the summoning condition of Genesis, for example, does not fulfill the condition. That's they do this, the line between those two. I'm sure there's another card. Let's get somebody for spellcaster monster. Yeah, well, if it's for itself though, it's a little different. These are only for himself. Oh, this guy's pass. If this card again. This card. This guy's pass summoned. No. This card. This card. This card. This. 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 Fortunately, there might not be another one like this card. Okay, this is spell, so by the effect of ranked in higher Utopia, well, by default needs to be, well, by default, but it doesn't, can't be summoning procedure. Usually is passed on by the effect of a cubing monster. Yeah, it can be, okay. Okay, well, it might be just these two cards. It's besides the point. Let's see, so what does she do? Spell someone's okay, and okay, just spell someone's stuff. Let's see. Oh, he's skill 5. That's annoying. He's the only zombie pendulum, by the way. Like, what? Isn't this kind of crazy? Okay, he does this guy too, but he's an Xyz. Isn't there a spell that can change the pendulum scale? Reduced by 1. Shift. Yeah, this one. I'll make him be able to summon Lord. Oh, that's way too foolish. Grace. See, yeah, she triggers here because she considers the quote-unquote summoning effect, which is pendulum procedure, belongs to this guy. He's a zombie. So it is the actions thing, but then because the actions thing, you can't summon Goka. Or rather, you can summon Goka, it doesn't trigger. I just realized I could have reduced it. Oh no, because Grace needs a level 5 Oclair, so yeah, couldn't. If I got correctly too, this guy was a Korean exclusive back when they were doing Korean exclusives, and they never made a second zombie to go with him. See, now she doesn't trigger for Goka. Whereas if we remove this, triggers. solve this. Of how high zombies on by different zombie. Because then also if it's a delayed effect, like it triggers and then later in the end phase it's past summon something, that should also work if it was a zombie initially, so I can't just check he's activated or whatever. We could check effect type continues for that. I will account for any lingering kind of effects. But then we still have the problem of Goka. I mean, you could hard code it and just say, hey, well, if it's a pendulum summon, it doesn't work, but I mean, that's not exactly right. And there's other stuff too, like if there's a formula synchron that's a zombie and you use it to summon a zombie, it gets complicated there. I think I'm gonna need to put this on the shelf again because I need to actually think about a possible solution. Okay, yeah. I'll leave that for later. I need to think about it. Or maybe Naeem has an idea or something. We'll see. We need to separate Genesis from Goka, but we also need to separate it from Pendulum Summon. Okay, I want to try and finalize this. Maybe the last thing to do today, and then I'll go. Right, so from what I remember, I tested it a bit and it worked, but I had this note. I made this note later for delayed effects. So I'm looking for a lingering delayed effect that attaches stuff. I think there was one of these traps that was doing it. Special summon. No. This does attach. Oh, pass red. Change the end phase. No. No. Well, I could just make a custom script real quick. So I have a puzzle here, I think. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so we got this here. I'm gonna make this, apply an effect where later you choose something and attach. That difficult. It would be similar to this. Okay. Continues. Event. Oops. There's no property. This is just for testing, so you don't need to be very precise or anything. Unless I made a mistake, I should apply an effect and then in the end phase, pick something extra and get attached. Okay. Oh, we're kind of stuck. Wait, what? Oh wait, it's almost put down, that's why. I need to... let's do this. The puzzle doesn't end. Now obviously it's not gonna work because the update thing is not actually in the utility, this part. Although probably should go to workaround. Well, for now I'll just put it up here. Or at the bottom. Just so I don't have to go looking for the other file. Okay, so the idea is that we use this effect, we attach this, she triggers, boom. Now I want to, okay, because I'm checking chain solving, yeah. So it's like, okay, if it's, the chain is currently resolving, I'm setting reason effect, reason player to the equivalent stuff, so then when the event is raised, we are passed correctly. So here, for example, if we debug them, where is it? Array RRP. So if I use this, they should properly have the correct values. So this is the Reason effect, reason player, all good. But if I do this, what's that lingering effect? They're nil because they're not set properly, so they go to the default, these ones. So the idea is if there is a reason effect, do this instead of checking if the chain is currently resolving, so we take into account non-activated effects as well. Okay. And if I do this, okay, nice. Now let's make sure it doesn't work, or like when it's not an effect. So in actual effect, so let's say Sargas is the guy's name. Can overlay himself. Yeah, on top of his brigands. So this should trigger the event. Also, because this guy's living the extra deck, I guess, but hold on. Let's make it trigger when something in the master zone moves. Actually, I should debug in here. Okay. So if it moves because it's overlaid due to Sargas's summoning procedure, it did go in. That's a little annoying. But chain solving is not gonna go in. Yeah, because I mean technically the summoning procedure is an effect, quote unquote. Like script code wise, it's an effect. Obviously, it's not an actual effect rules wise, but okay, I guess I'll just do a little more complicated effect check, because we could check. Okay, so if it's chain solving, then obviously we should do this. If it's not chain solving, and we have a reason effect, it needs to be something that doesn't have the negation, cannot negate flag, because if it does have the negation flag, it's not an effect. I guess we could classify it that way. Okay, I didn't print this correctly. I need to change this back. Okay, didn't print. Okay, nice. And then I should print with this as well. Okay, nice. That should work. This should work. Okay, let's review this real quick because I wrote this some time ago now, so I don't remember exactly what I wrote. Okay, overlay. Create the base parameters. This is mounted grave. Okay, if we are currently resolving or the region effect is not a non-effect, to put it simply, we change these just in case to the proper values. Otherwise, they're the default values here. And then send to grave. If it's set to true, the materials of the XE's materials of the class 2bx materials also send to grave. If it's not true, they don't. Go to the create, so they're removed as well, I suppose. So it's like it's a card, if it's a group. Okay, if XE's matches a card, I add EG and the overlay group of XE's mats together. So all of them are going to be moved. If XE's matches a group, then I add each of the cards. Okay, so it's fine. And then this is actually executing the attaching that overlay function. And then we raise event move with the corresponding values, e.g. being the cards that were turned into materials, X materials. And then these. Okay, that's probably fine, I think. There's another card as well. I just remember I saw it earlier. There's a Despia that has the same if a card is the X deck. So that also will be fixed, not just do what it is. But yeah, in this script, I don't think we need to change anything. Should be fine. Now, trying to think if it could cause any potential issues. The point is that if a card with this code, if a card is attached as X material, event move triggers. The event move is raised. So anything that checks for event move will go off. Now obviously its own specific condition and stuff will be checked too. Leave field should be fine because they should be checking event leave field, not event move. Like not many cards are gonna be checking event move anyway. Stuff like the valence, so that if they're moved from one monster zone to another, use this event. But for that case, I think they check in the condition that they were in the master zone and they're still in the master zone. So obviously it's not gonna work for this case because they became these materials. So I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it. Double summon, need to undo this stuff here. Okay. She has some debug added, we need to undo. Okay. So I'm gonna move this to the other file though, but yeah. Delete this puzzle safely now. The other one was, I think it was Quem. Yeah, it was her. If you got the extra deck, blah blah blah, do stuff. Now, just these two, and they don't care for the reasons and stuff. If I the extra deck, if I the extra deck, just in case in the future something cares for the reason effect and all that, I want to do this correctly. Or if a custom card or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. It was a little more up and down today with the tech issues, but what can you do? Anyway, yeah. See ya. Take care. Bye bye.